All right, so I wanted to go off, or I wanted to start about this UFO thing. You guys been seeing that? Apparently, it actually happened a while back, like about a month or two ago. Actually, it's from
the one in Vegas.
Yeah. So this kid, well, there's actual video of this thing falling from the sky.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually footage.
It was
door ring cam.
Yeah.
And then also
is that, and then there's actual body cam. From
the officer's body cam.
So nobody knows if that's a meteor or if it's a UFO. Anyway, this kid encounters this 8 to 10 foot being while he's outside working out. Well, two of them. Yeah, that's right. And him and his cousin, I believe, were working on the car, and they see this thing, and so they go inside. They tell their parents. Parents come out, and they're Spanish speaking. Are they Mexican? I don't know, because I couldn't tell. They were Mexican, or they were speaking some sort of Latin.
They were they were of Latin descent. We'll say that.
They might have swam in the river, but maybe. Yeah. But anyway, so they come out with guns. Guns drawn. They come out and they go to the backyard and they're looking for this thing, and they see it. Apparently,
correct.
The dad walks out of the gate. He sees something, gets startled, runs back in. The lady's trying to record. And, they're like, well, she's got an iPhone, and iPhones suck at night, from what I hear. Ew!
Had to go there.
So she's recording this, right? And here's part of where I, here's part of why it gets me. It's a perfect opportunity, right? She's there at the gate, pointing her camera out to this bulldozer, truck, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was too planned. Like they said, yeah, here, record. Like, we'll get out of the way so you can record. And then these people start saying, well, there it is. It's right there. It's got eyes. It's behind a bulldozer. It's over here by the truck. And I'm like, I don't see nothing.
So the two videos that I saw two videos. I saw the one that was apparently where it shows the thing kind of stepping up and looking up. When you see it, you're like, man, is that even, like, can that be real, right? It just, from what we all grew up and, believing, and it didn't seem like you're going to catch something like that on camera, right?
To me, it was like Signs. Remember Signs?
Yes, like Signs.
Okay, that's what it was like.
Yeah.
And I saw that video.
Now, the second video I saw was when they were approaching the gate.
Yes, yeah.
That wooden fence, and you see the thing behind the wooden fence, and you see what looks like to be a hand or a claw or whatever it is coming from the fence.
No way.
And as they're walking to it, it takes off.
Shut
and so that's where the report comes in, where they say, well, it ran into the woods.
See, that's what I didn't know.
So that was and it's very grainy. It's kind of hard to see, but there was something there. We just don't know. Was it planned? Was it, was it staged? You can't really tell. Now, I will tell you, I was looking at videos here recently, and one of the videos says that they can't find these people anymore. These people are missing. The family?
No way.
That they've been by the house. News reporters, they were reporting on it, right?
No way.
And they say that the house is dark. Like, there's no traffic. There's nobody inside. There's nobody outside. Like, they don't see any movement at all for the past week. That they haven't seen anything. So the reporter mentions two things. She says, one, maybe it's just so much attention that they don't want, right?
Okay, yeah.
And they're trying to just, hey, everybody leave us alone.
Yeah.
Or the second is she throws it out there, and right away they cut away from her video, where she says, or the government has taken them and is now interrogating them. And they cut away from it after she says that, right?
Wow.
Now, supposedly a video has come out from the family saying all it is, it's too much attention and they just want to be left alone. They don't want anything to do with it.
I saw something to where the kid or somebody, the guy was saying, let it go.
The one that speaks English.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he came out and he mentioned something.
Let it go like it's over.
Yeah, we don't want any other attention. But, it's crazy, man.
I don't see. Okay, so my thing is like, I've had some stuff go on, and maybe I believe, maybe I don't. I just need a little bit better footage.
So if we had better phones back in the day, right?
If she had an Android, she might have seen it.
Here we go.
She might have probably videoed it.
Here we go.
She probably did have an Android. That's what it was, man. Yeah.
Hey,
No, that's
she
already
sent
been-
it to an iPhone person,
Yeah.
and that's why it came grainy. No wonder. Now I think we've solved the mystery of why the video came out that way. Golly. Crankshaft, you got. I think you hit the nail
that
on
was
the
a good one.
on the
You
head on
got
that
it.
one, man.
You got me on that one.
Golly.
Ass.
You know, my sister, they had a situation when my mom first moved to New Mexico back in the late 90s, right?
Wow.
I think it was 98, around there, 99. They were staying at a hotel because they were getting ready to get transitioned to living there.
Okay.
And they walk outside and they actually see a UFO. They don't know what it was, but it
Right.
wasn't flying by. It was literally just hovering over the area.
No way.
Yeah, and it was like getting closer, and then it would move, and then it took off. So, and it wasn't just her. Like, it was 3 people that actually saw it, and of course they're telling me, and I'm like, y'all must have been drinking, right?
Yeah.
Of course, my sister was underage at the
Right
time,
away,
and
right away.
you know, my mom really didn't drink, but still, it was like y'all had to. There was something going on, but man, they swear up and down that and then they woke up with like marks or hives and
No
different
way.
things the next day.
So they felt
So they
something.
just felt like it was something, and of course, I mean, New Mexico, Roswell's
Right.
out there,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you think about it, it's alien heaven,
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, of course, we're not gonna say it didn't happen, but like you said, there's really no proof.
Well,
The
only proof
if we
is
had
the
if we I
people
think
who
we had
saw it,
cameras
yeah.
back then, or phones with cameras, better ones back then.
Yeah.
it might have been better, but yeah, it's
yeah. If the
You
only
hear these
proof
stories
is,
all the time.
Is the people that saw it, and that's their
which is
story.
usually the way it is.
So one more thing. Let me add to this thing that happened. And like I said, I guess I was late to the game because apparently this happened from what they said it was in May or even further. So I didn't know that. I thought it recently happened. But anyway, so here's another thing. This guy is talking about, okay, there's Vegas, and then a little bit further north there's this little wooded area, right? So apparently these guys were up there in the wooded area. I don't know what they were doing, hanging out, shooting. Who knows what they were doing. So they were hanging out up there. And according to one of them, both of them, they saw this or heard something coming down like the trail, wherever they were at. So they had these scopes. I don't know if they were night vision or whatever. So they got these scopes out and they look down and they see this thing walking down the trail kind of towards them. It was still far away, but it was coming towards them. So this thing was, it'd walk around and it'd stop and it would kind of like smell and it would keep walking and going, whatever. So they went on this show and they told this guy that was a podcast or something. There's some show that they called into and they said, hey, we saw this thing. We don't have video of it, but we saw this thing. We both saw it on our night scope vision, there's, whatever. And so this guy started putting everything together. He said, okay, so you have Vegas where this thing crashed. These people see this creatures. Further north from that is where these guys were at, up in the woods, whatever. So they see these creatures. Well, further up north from that is
Area 151.
Area 51.
Area 151.
So, yeah, Area 151.
Wait, that's right down the street from here.
In San Antonio, Area 151.
You know there's an Area 151, right? Or Area 51. It's like a food,
Yeah, food
like
truck.
a food
is it?
truck. Yeah. And they have alien shit out there, yeah.
So it's Area 151?
or is it,
It's Area
is it, it is, right? Yeah, something like that.
So that's where they were going. They were
Yeah,
going to eat.
They were going to go
They were
eat,
going to
man.
go eat.
So yeah, Area
So-
51 is literally north
Yeah,
of
so that's
that,
what the guy was.
northwest.
So that's what his theory was, that, okay, this thing happened in Vegas. They're going north. These guys see these creatures. And, of course, further north than that is Area 51. So
Yeah.
he was putting stuff together
Two and two
and
together.
saying, well, oh. So, I don't know, man. So
I saw the
it's-
luggage.
Yeah.
And then the airplane tickets.
Yeah. They weren't hurt. I mean, how do we know they weren't hurt if there was this crash?
Correct.
I don't know. I was waiting for Will Smith to pop out and come and save the day. But,
Or who was it? Who was the
president?
no, was it not Nimoy? Was it who was it? The one that plays the doctor on the first Spock, right? Wasn't it?
No.
Or not Spock, it was the dude with
The Fly.
No, not him. The one that plays the doctor in the first Independence Day. He's the one with the long hair. Wasn't
with
he
the
the
glasses?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
he was the light version or the real white one on Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
We're waiting for one of them to come out.
Data? Was he Data? Was that Data? No, it was somebody else.
Was it? I don't remember. I just know he came out on Star Trek.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean that was the thing, and we were talking about that, and
we were wondering. I mean, what do y'all believe? Do y'all believe in aliens?
I mean, it's out there.
It is.
People, I know even some of my family are even like, well, as we saw something one day, and they told me about it, and I'm like, no way. They're like, yeah, we saw something going home, going towards Pleasanton.
ET phone home. They were going.
Yeah,
home?
they were going to the HEB out there. I guess I don't know. They needed some supplies before they went to Roswell, and then they were going to Area 51.
There you go. Area 151. North.
What does Crankshaft have to say about this?
I don't believe in that crap. Y'all are dumb. That video was dumb. They're all dumb. I didn't even watch the video, man. I saw that, and all he's doing is talking to her the whole time. Oh, and something landed there. Well, show something. Show me something.
Show me something.
Show
me the money.
Skip.
He swiped right.
He swiped up.
Oh, he swiped up.
He swiped up, and then he swiped right, and then he blocked him.
Yeah, I swiped. And let me see some WAP videos.
No, the other one. Yeah, give me one margarita.
Yes, that's the new WAP. That's the new. I was gonna tell you about that. That's the new WAP, dude.
Give me one margarita. I'm gonna give you some.
Give me two margaritas. I'm gonna stick it. Like, y'all girls really know what y'all are dancing to? They're freaking stupid, man. God, daddy issues. I tell you, man.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Even Chris Rock did the back in the day when he was talking about the songs that the girls are dancing to.
Yeah.
When they're dancing to the Lil Jon song, from the window to the wall. Like, do you know what you're dancing to? And these girls are just getting down, man. So, yeah, I think nothing's changed.
I didn't think that was a real song. I honestly didn't. When I heard it, that somebody just made a spoof. And then they're talking about, I'm going to put it in my tush. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, whoa.
So who sings it?
I have no idea.
It's got to be Cardi B.
I don't think it is. I don't know who sings it, but apparently it's a real song.
Yeah, it's got to be Cardi B.
But everybody's using it now. It's like, it's TikTok. Well, for real, man. I mean.
Angel Lakita.
Angel? I have no idea.
I don't know who that is.
Yep.
Well,
Angel Lakita.
She's got a big following now.
Yep.
Since she's
gone viral. There's medicine for that.
All it takes is some margaritas. And
I need a song that will outdo the WAP. What can I? While drinking a margarita,
exactly.
Wait a minute. this margarita wants me to put it in there.
It started glowing, and she was like, I wonder what one of these will do.
I wonder what two of them will let me do.
So when you look it up, it literally says, if you buy her one margarita, she's gonna spread her legs. Like,
yeah.
That's how it's.
Give me one margarita, I will spread my legs. Give me two margaritas, I'll give you some head or some shit like that. Oh,
all I know is when you get to 4, she'll let you put it in the butt. Those must be Chacho's margaritas.
Top shelf. The top shelf.
Top shelf, baby.
Those were the days.
God.
Hey, people are looking forward to National Margarita Day again.
Yeah, all right. That's gonna be the national song.
Only Chacho's margaritas will probably make it do that, dude.
My God, man. How did we survive those? Where I told you, I think I told you a while back what they. Oh, I already forgot. Never mind. But they used apparently to these people when I was doing Lyft one time, and they started talking about Chachos. And they said that they loaded up those things, dude, with like extra liquor and stuff.
Extra
like
shot?
It wasn't just like tequila, like it was other shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he said that's why people would always get fucked up when he drank them.
Dude, 2 of those and
what of those?
Shit, what? 1 maybe? Shit, 2, 3, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Those
and it was crazy, right? Because there were some times that we would pregame that.
Yeah.
And then there was times when we'd leave and we'd go in back with that, and it was like, dude, there were some crazy days. Well, people are gonna have to wait till February 22nd of next year for National Margarita Day.
Wow.
But I bet that'll still be a thing.
Well, the guys are going to try and use that shit now. Would you like a margarita?
Yes.
Here's 2.
How about 4?
I'm just looking for some chewing. No, 2's enough. That's all I need.
That's all I need.
I need some chewing. That's all I need on it. 2's good. 2's good. But anyway, so we went from talking UFOs to talking about margaritas.
Yeah, because I don't believe in UFOs.
Well,
I don't know, man. I think I would need a little bit more proof, but you see all these conspiracy theories and things that are, coming up all the time and how people are I mean, I've seen all the crazy conspiracy theories like the traveling of time and the
that's another one.
Yeah, the guy that was, had gone to the future and left things.
Time travelers.
Left things places and people go over there and the stuff's there.
Yeah, and they have pictures of people. Well,
yeah.
Apparently, they have pictures of people holding, cell phones and shit.
Yeah,
like
so there's things. It's just it's hard to believe, but you know what I mean. Now that there's a lot more technology. One, you think, well, is it CGI? Is it staged? Or two, because of the technology, are we actually finding out about these things a lot more now?
Right.
You know what I mean?
But why still? And you know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is, right? Even he says is like, why isn't there video?
Yeah.
It's because back then it was grainy and videos back then, but now we've got better phones, we've got better technology. How come we don't have better pictures? I've seen another video where this guy, I guess he was outside with his kid, and he was pointing a laser up to the sky.
Laser pointer.
And he said, "Oh, look, there's one." And there's this thing that's just flying. It's like a white dot just flying across the sky. But when he got to a certain point, and I guess he kind of hit it with the laser pointer, that it stopped, and it just went one direction, moved another, and it moved it was just making these quick turns, like it wasn't a plane.
So at first you could have said, well, it could have been a plane.
Right, it could have been a plane, but then after a while it started making all these things. So it's like, well, it's like you say, anybody can go into Photoshop or whatever, Illustrator, whatever it's called, to do video stuff and add all that shit in. But who do you believe? Who do you believe? The only thing I believe in is 2 margaritas.
2 margaritas. Well, I mean, we sent the video this week about the conspiracy theory of the shuttle, which is going to be what now, 40 years?
87?
87? Yeah, it was 87.
Right?
87? Oh, 86.
We were 3rd grade. We were in 3rd grade.
That guy's got to find that. It's 86 or 87?
86 or 87.
Yeah. It wasn't 88.
86.
86.
It was 1986.
So 88 was the year the Dodgers won the championship.
So we're 37. It's 37 years.
37.
37 years now, right?
So what's the conspiracy? You're saying there's a conspiracy?
Well, yeah, the video that we sent, remember, where they're saying that they weren't actually on the shuttle.
Yeah.
Now, I was very intrigued listening to it and watching it, right? Until we got to the point where, well, where's the teacher though?
Yeah.
They made a point to say, hey, this person looks like this person.
Right.
This is supposedly the twin brother that there's no records of.
Right.
This is supposedly the other twin brother that there's no records of. But they don't mention anything about the teacher. They only show her family mentioning oh yeah, it was tragic. But they don't say anything about where she is. Did she pass away?
Right.
Did the government take her? What happened? Right.
Right.
But everybody else, there's yeah, he looks like him. I mean, it was interesting. But then when we got to that point, I was like, now you got me on that. You missed me on that one.
Because why isn't she there?
Yeah. Why isn't she there now? Or why isn't there any records or history of her somewhere?
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, again, all these conspiracies, which makes you think about other things, right? So, segueing into one of the things that we wanted to talk about when we talk about what do we believe. Okay, so Crankchef obviously doesn't believe in aliens or UFOs, right? But we were talking about urban legends.
Yeah, because part of that was how we grew up.
Yeah,
we're Hispanic. We hear a lot of shit. We've heard a lot of stories. La lechusa,
La Llorona,
la chupacabras, all this, so that was
Correct.
a good point. I think Louie brought it up. It's okay, we used to believe in some of that shit, maybe not everything. I know, Cyclops told us a story one time. I don't remember if I told you that one, how he said that something was attacking his house.
I remember.
Oh,
remember
yes,
that?
I remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so... Yes. No, man. That's I guess.
I mean, what were some of the other ones that are famous nationally, like Candyman?
All the ones that they're making movies
Movies
out of.
of.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, they even made the
you couldn't go to the
Llorona
bathroom
one.
and look into the mirror and say,
yeah, do that in elementary school.
Yeah.
Freak everybody out and say Bloody Mary.
Yeah, you
5
know,
times. Some shit.
all those things again that they're making movies of now, like La Llorona. Wasn't La Llorona? I thought it was a South Texas folklore type thing.
Well,
right, but now it's like, no, that's over here.
People
Also
in California have talked about that.
It's over here and it's over there, so everybody has La Llorona somewhere.
Yeah, I've heard it. You know, people talking about it.
The
California
Donkey Lady.
and Donkey Lady Bridge.
The bridge, Devil's Bridge. Yep.
I think we talked about it too not long ago. Going to the Chinese graveyard.
Yes. So the Chinese graveyard. That is a big one. You know, not only in San Antonio. That's actually one that when people look up things to do and places to go and folklore stuff here in San Antonio, the Chinese cemetery comes up for them. The Chinese graveyard, and it's just, you know, of course, forbidden love. You know, lost people and all these things, but their people go over there and they go and turn on their lights, and then when they turn off their lights, apparently they see things moving in the grave. Yeah. It's a big thing, man. I think that was one of the biggest ones, along with the tracks. Those two were always things that people like, hey, we're gonna make this an event, we're gonna go here, and they would take a bunch of people.
See, I've heard other stories about them, because everybody's done that. You know, gone down to the tracks, put the car neutral, and
put some powder on.
And put the powder on the back and see handprints and all that stuff. So I heard about that. This one story I heard when you're talking about the tracks. So this guy went down there, and he parked, got out of his car, put the powder on the back of on the back, got back in the car, you know, does the thing, and you know, he goes downhill, and so he said, you know, got out, he saw handprints, yada yada. So a couple of days later, he's driving down the highway, and he says that as he's going down the highway, that he feels this tug on his wheel, as if somebody was tugging on it. You know, and he's like, I don't know what the hell's going on. He's I was just driving down, all of a sudden it's just tugging. So he was literally almost going into the other lane because of he keep feeling this tug. He stopped to, you know, check this thing, checked his tires, nothing was wrong. Went to the auto shop, checked them, tell, hey, this thing's giving me. They're like, no, we don't find nothing. So according to him, he thought at that time that there was some sort of spirit that jumped in his car, and now the spirit is in his car with him somewhere. Of course, this was an old story. Didn't happen.
Well, let me give you one story about when we were leaving the tracks. And I don't think we were doing the tracks, but me and Crankstaff, I think we had just finished playing softball, because there's a softball field right there by the tracks, of course. Right?
So what is the name of that place now?
It's called Swing It.
Is it?
Yes, they changed the name of it again.
It's been so many things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we were leaving. We had just finished playing a game, and we go off the tracks, and we're taking the back road towards like the Roosevelt area, right?
Yeah.
So we're taking the back road, and as we're driving, I literally see this guy who's walking. He's wearing a hoodie with like dark pants, and he's crossing, and it's dark, so I freaking like, damn, I almost hit this dude. Like I slowed down, and so I see this dude walking across where there's nothing out there, man. There's literally field, there's train tracks, and then I think there's a cemetery close by over there as well, but there's literally nothing out there. There's a couple houses, you know, that are kind of like spaced out. But we're driving, and this guy crosses us, and I see him look right directly at us, and he just crosses. I'm like, cool.
Wow.
You know. Anyways, I don't know what he's doing out here, but none of our business. Let's keep going.
Right.
And as we're driving and we start taking the curves, as we're getting towards the area right before you get to Stinson, right before that area.
Yeah.
We're driving, and there's a guy standing on the side of the road, and I swear it's literally the same guy wearing the same hoodie, just staring at us now, pass by him.
Holy shit.
And I remember freaking the hell out, right? And gunning it. I don't know if we had been drinking. I don't know if that's why this one kind of like, I really don't remember that. So I don't know. I know we ended up drinking after.
Yeah.
I think we were trying to drink it away, but I was like freaking out, man. I was like, I literally saw the same guy, and I traveled at least half a mile to a mile. There's no way he was gonna run and meet me at the other end of the road.
So Crankstaff don't remember.
He doesn't remember that.
Remember.
But I was freaked out. So I remember that area. That it's always been a
A hotbed.
A hotbed, little creepy area over there.
Well, I have another one that I was told, and I think you can still do it today if you go by Stinson, and it's towards the back part of where the cemetery is.
Yeah.
So right at this little crossroads, I think it's a 4-way stop or something. If you look into the cemetery, there's a like a headstone, and basically it's like the Virgin Mary. So she's kneeling. If I remember correctly, she's kneeling. So what it is so the airport's right there, right? So it's got that strobe light. So, because it's an airport, it's got all these lights or whatever. So it's got a strobe light that's facing the cemetery. So you just keep seeing that strobe light. Well, apparently, if you stand there, if you looked at it long enough, it looks like she stands up.
Huh. The statue.
The statue. So it looks like it goes from a kneeling position.
So it's not like an apparition or
no. It's like
it's literally the statue stands up.
It literally looks like the statue stands up. And I've gone there, and I was kind of like, I was like, well, let's take a look. No, it's okay. But that was the story I heard.
Well, that's like the Chinese graveyard is similar to that. So if you were to go and you go to the front and you shut off your car, roll down your windows, and you flash your lights 5 times, you could start hearing noises, which is the lovers, which is the girl that was buried there because she committed suicide because they didn't let her see her lover, and he had died, so he was buried. So she ends up committing suicide there, so they bury her next to him.
Whoa.
And so apparently when you do that, you either hear her screaming or hear her talking,
right,
or you can see a tall Asian lady that starts walking by. Like, that's some of the things that were over there. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need to see a tall Asian lady.
No,
like,
thanks.
Why does it always have to be 5 times? Like, it's like the spirit is like 1, 2,
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, 3.
Beetlejuice.
Come on, 2 more times. 4.
Yes, here I come.
Oh, damn it! She only did 4. Shit! I gotta stay in my little whatever.
I don't know what is it called. Sarcophagus. I don't know.
You said same with Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary had to be 5 times. Why 5 times?
Beetlejuice was only 3.
Yeah, exactly. Beetlejuice was only 3. He didn't wait. Yeah, 3 times.
He even tells you to say it 3 times.
Yes.
Beetlejuice.
On the second one, he was already fluffing up his jacket.
But 5 times, I guess 5 is a lucky number, I guess, man.
Oh, God. That's awesome. That's great.
All right, guys. So when you're coming to San Antonio, if you're here in San Antonio, you haven't experienced any of these things, or you're coming to San Antonio and you're looking for some things to do, if you're into some of the stuff that we've been talking about, which is, the urban legends, or creepy stuff that goes on, there's a couple spots, man, in San Antonio that is very, very, I guess it's nationally acclaimed. Like, people come down just for that.
Right.
One of them we mentioned was the Chinese graveyard, right? Have you heard that Our Lady of the Lake is really haunted? And
yeah,
they talk about that. But one of the ones it's considered one of the most haunted places in the U.S. is called Victoria's Black Swan Inn.
So that's a real place?
That's a real place, yes, and I've seen it. Oh. I've never been there. Matter of fact, they offer tours, they offer things, but people have said that they've seen things floating, they've heard people talking, they see people walking, but that's one of the big ones there. Of course, the hotels downtown, the Gunther. The State Hospital. They say the Majestic Theater. All those. The Emily Morgan is one of the biggest. Actually nationally known as well.
Right.
So those are some of the things. Now, one of the things that is on here that they talk about when we talk about urban legends, and I think we'll let Porky elaborate on his story there. Bigfoot used to hang around Kelly Air Force Base.
He used to hang around.
Back in the 70s, it says that there were known sightings from November of 1974 to August 1976. But there's 2 sightings that happened that have been reported, and one was there was a witness that saw a 7-foot, 8-foot tall brown figure running in his backyard, right? And then days later, a neighbor saw a creature sitting outside her home as well. And so those are just a couple of the sightings. Now, you know, every time I've heard Bigfoot, I've always thought mountains. I've always thought woods.
Right.
You know,
right.
things like that.
Seattle area.
Yeah.
Type stuff.
But Porky, you have a story. so why don't you share that with us?
Well, thank you, Louie. Thank you for that segue. So this happened. This was back
Not
in
the 70s.
No, it wasn't actually in the 70s. This was actually in the hill country area of Texas, and I know it makes it a little bit more unbelievable because I don't.
It wasn't Kelly Air Force Base. Or
No, it wasn't Kelly.
No, man.
It was. I don't remember exactly where it was. I don't know the name of the city. I don't remember the area. I just remember that it was in the hill country.
And it was in the 80s.
No. It was actually back somewhere between 2003 and 2006, if I remember it correctly. Because back then I was married. Anyway, divorced. So we go up to the hill country. There's this cabin that's out there, and it's basically kind of like a ranch, but it's just a house sitting in the middle of land, basically. So we're there, and the first night we get there, we're walking around, and so we're like, oh, let's get ready to watch movies. It was kind of late, so we started watching movies. The next day we wake up, and we take the kids down the road. So basically the road goes down a little bit, and it goes to the right. And then once it makes that right, it's just a long, straight road. There's houses there, but there's a good, there's good distance between each house. And on the right side is woods, wooded area, brush or tall trees and things like that. So we're walking right, and we're going, and we hear this thing over on the right side of us, and it's just making these noises, breaking twigs. Sounds like leaves, like somebody's walking, basically.
Something rustling through the woods.
So we don't know if it's a creature. We don't know if it's a like a little deer or something that's just kind of walking along the road. And we're all looking, at it, and we're trying to see what is it. We can't figure it out. We keep walking, right? So at this point, I'm in front of everybody, and I'm walking. We're going down, and we get to a certain point, and my ex-father-in-law says, "Hey, why don't we go back? We've gone far enough." So, okay, we turn around, head back, and now the woods are on our left side as we're walking back to the little house. And something, call it a spidey sense or something, like something got me in the back of my neck, and it just said, turn around.
Yeah, the hairs went up.
I felt something, right? So, at this point, everybody is now in front of me as we're walking back, and I'm the last one. So, like I said, I get this feeling, right? And I turn around, and there's this thing, standing right in the middle of the road, right? And the whole time was probably about 3 to 4 seconds. What the hell could this thing be? Is it I was thinking it was an ostrich. I was thinking it wasn't a bear. I was thinking of all this shit, like all this thing is fine. I tell you, it was only like 3 to 4 seconds, but I'm thinking of all this shit I'm processing. I'm like, what the fuck is it? But it had salty pepper, grayish hair.
So he was already old.
Kind of like Crankshaft. But
he was already old then.
It looked older. It didn't look brown. It didn't look newer. And he had this stance, like he was just kind of just not, I don't know how you would say that. He had this stance. He wasn't facing directly at me. He was kind of tilted, right? And he's just standing there. And I'm like, hey, do you guys see this?
Hey, you guys.
And I'm saying that, and as I saying that, I turn back to look at them, and I tell them, hey, do y'all see that? And they all turn around and they look. They're like, see what? And when I turn back around, it's gone. So I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what the fuck did I just walk into? What the fuck was following us? What the fuck was? How long was it watching us? I don't even know what it was. I can't even tell you, dude. But my first thought was like, hey, it couldn't have been an ostrich. It couldn't have been a bear. It couldn't have been anything else but a fucking Sasquatch.
How do you confuse a Sasquatch with an ostrich?
I didn't know what to think. But you know what? But that's how tall this thing was. How ostriches, their necks, their heads are like so so high up, 7, 8 feet or whatever.
Hey, you and Kevin Hart could have had something in common with ostriches. Wait. Yeah, man.
So the whole rest of the time, and even till now, man, I couldn't tell you.
You can't say what it is.
Couldn't tell you what it was.
Well, I mean, if it was maybe one of the Bigfoots that were seen back in the 1970s in San Antonio, I mean, he could have aged and he could have had salt and pepper hair now.
Well,
and he migrated to the hill country.
Yeah, and he also could have had like the bad water there, so he might have mutated. Speaking of Kelly and bad water. Speaking of Bigfoots, we are now in the presence of greatness, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in the presence of the man. Talking about myths.
Talking about myths. You ain't lying.
He is here.
Everybody has heard of him.
You've heard his name. You have heard. We've called him every name in the book.
Yep. Name drop Raj.
Drop Roger.
How's it going?
Roger is here, ladies and gentlemen. It's
really good to be here.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes of the podcast.
Live from New York. That's right. Roger.
It's going to be a good look at behind the scenes. See how you guys make the sausage.
You see how? Oh yeah. You see how things have changed now? We don't.
Yeah. It seems like there's something new now where there wasn't. I'm driving around like I was getting off on Marbach and all the overpasses with the new interchanges. I was like.
Hey, and
you've been gone that long?
The place he talks about Marbach.
Well,
since you've been gone, there's been a lot of things in the Marbach area that's not a good thing. So, but yeah, he's here, man.
So
now we get
in the
to get
house.
a different perspective of certain things.
Yeah, we're
talking.
I'm coming in this like completely raw too. So
raw.
Wow. Hey, it didn't take him but 10 seconds.
He's barebacking it.
It didn't take him but 10 seconds to get started, man. Golly.
Sausage reference, and now we're going at this raw.
You have to get tested after this.
He's going viral, guys.
He just used spit. Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, so to catch up, Roger. So we're talking about urban legends, urban myths. We talked about that UFO story. I don't know if you
the Vegas one, the Vegas UFO
story. So we went over that. And that got us talking about old urban legends.
San Antonio urban legends.
We're from San Antonio. We're Hispanic. All this shit's gone through La Lechusa, La Llorona, all that stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See,
we referenced all those, right?
Yeah.
Some of the experiences that we've had. So what I'll do is I'm going to share an experience real quick, and then Roger, we want to see if you've had any, or if there's something that comes to mind. But
if you're willing to share.
So I was talking about San Antonio, things to come do, things to come see. I've done actually 2 ghost tours here in San Antonio, and the last one I did was a pub crawl. So we're going to different places, and they're sharing the stories and giving you some of the history behind it and why they say they're haunted. But one of the places that we went to Moses Rose's, and they're telling us that that place is there's a lot of things that have happened there and sightings, and of course that's the Alamo area, where the Battle of the Alamo, that's part of it.
Where exactly is it?
So Moses Rose's is right off of South Houston, yes.
South Houston.
On Houston, yes.
But it's downtown.
Yes, downtown.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're telling us about this, and they're saying, one of the things is the bathrooms are apparently one of the biggest areas that it's haunted. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So they go through the story, and after every story at every single place, you get to have a drink. You go get your drink, you get buy yourself a beer, shot, whatever. So I get my beer and I put it down. I say, what, man, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, walk in, and there's nobody in there. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go to the back stall, right? So I go to the stall, go to the bathroom, and as I'm in there, I hear the urinal flush in the front. I'm like, dang, somebody walked in right behind me. Like, all right, cool. So, then I hear the water turn on the faucet. So I'm like, all right, they're washing their hands. Cool. So I'm finishing, I'm coming out, and I see the urinal finishing, and I see the water's turned off. And I'm looking around, and I don't see anybody in there. So I go to another stall. There's nobody in there. Nobody in the urinal areas. So now I'm starting to get a little freaked out, and just kind of like Porky, I guess I felt something, right? Didn't feel right.
Spidey sense.
Yeah, so I opened the door, and as I opened the door, there's a hallway that leads back to the bar. So when I open the door and I look out the door, I see my girl staring at me, and she's like, what? Like, hurry up. We're trying to hurry up and get out of here. So I'm like, who was in here? And she says, nobody. You're the only one that has walked over there, and now we're just waiting for your ass to get back. So hurry up. And I'm like, no, somebody was in here because the urinal went off, and then the water turned on. And I could make sense of it if the water was one of those, the sensors.
Right.
But it wasn't. It's you have to turn the knob in order for the water to turn on. And the same thing with the urinal. The urinal, you have to flush it, manually flush it.
So the ghost didn't give you the buffer, though.
He didn't give me the buffer. He did not give me the buffer. But I didn't give him an opportunity, because as soon as that happened, man, I ran out, and I'm explaining this to the lady that's giving the tour, and she's like, well, let me buy you a shot. And I'm like, that's not going to make me feel better. I'm like, I'll take the shot, but let's take it outside, and then we can get out of here, because, man, it didn't feel right. But, yeah, man, like, so, Porky shared an experience. I was sharing some experiences, too. I don't know if, Rod, you have any.
I have no anything around town, no paranormal contact. So I would go to the tracks as a kid, but I think it's been pretty well debunked.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about the tracks too.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Put the baby powder on the
Yep.
thing.
Yeah. See, no, we didn't even hold up a cue card, ladies and gentlemen. See, everybody knows these stories.
Exactly what
he just walked in and automatically, we didn't hold up a cue card.
Know the San Antonio legends. Midget Mansion.
Oh.
Oh, Crack Chef says we can't use the word.
Use the midget.
We can't use the word midget.
No.
We could be canceled, guys.
Imagine that, a show called Uncanceled Culture is being
So
canceled.
what's the story with Midget Mansion, though? Like, I know the name, but what's...
So apparently there was a family that they were all little people, and they built this mansion, this house, with everything so that they could reach. So even the lights, the ceiling, the fixtures, the ceiling fans, everything was even the light switches, everything is lowered so that way for these little people to be able to reach. And apparently when they started having kids, the man and the wife, they weren't having little people kids. They were actually having real regular kids that were growing up to be regular, But this man apparently kills his entire family there. And so now that's why people say when you would go over there, you would see things moving around. And because they were little people, they were midgets. They were so fast that you would only see lights, right? Now, one of the stories behind it, though, there was a fence that was at the beginning of the house. If you were to cross that fence, here was the story, and one of my aunts said that they did it. You cross the fence. Right when you cross the fence, when you turn around, now the fence is about 30, 40, 50 feet behind you. As soon as you crossed it, yeah. And then as you're going back, it's taking long to get there. So that was one of the stories there from the Midget Mansion. And now, everybody knows, I think some people went out there and vandalized it. And then after that, they changed it, and now it's that blood and tissue center area.
I'll be honest, I really didn't know the whole story about it.
Yeah.
I heard it was where Promontory Point apartments are at. That's where I heard it was at. I don't know. But
I thought it was on.
Anymore,
I thought
it doesn't
off
exist anymore.
Banzera or something like that.
No, it's over there on the south side.
On the south side. In
Yeah,
our hood.
Yeah. It was
Really?
in the hood. Southeast side, I believe it was.
Really?
Everything's on the south side, dude.
Yeah.
Huh?
Everything's on the south side.
For the
Yeah.
most part, yeah.
Well, we're getting everything over there now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a Cheddar's. We're moving on up. Yeah. Do you know that?
I didn't hear about that one.
The Cheddar's on Southeast Military in Brooks area. We're moving on up like the Jeffersons, baby.
On the east side. So Rod, you don't have nothing else? You never experienced anything else?
Nope.
Lechusa, I think we heard, we talked about Cyclops and we were talking about different stories. And, there's a Texas book. There's a book with Texas urban legends, folklores or whatever. And apparently my family is in one of them. And it talks about the Lechusa where this lady was always giving her a hard time. And they got into this big argument. Well, one day this owl creature with a lady's face is kind of coming to attack this lady, which is, I guess we were related to, I don't know. But coming to attack her, and she's getting all her kids inside, comes out with a broom and ends up beating this thing to death, right?
What?
Well, then they find out the next day that the lady that they were having the beef with, end up passing away, and she was beaten. like blunt force trauma, and yeah. So it was some crazy stories, but apparently there's this book, and I've been wanting to check it out so we can read some of it. But
we're gonna have to find that book.
Yeah,
because we
definitely gonna have to find that
find
book.
out. There's so many. What are some of the other? I know we talked about Donkulator Bridge. I've actually been in the Chinese graveyard.
Really?
Did you ever?
I didn't go.
You never got on bikes and went over there and checked it out? Because now it's all closed off.
Yeah.
Now it's closed off. You can't walk in there. No, I don't think anybody can go in there now. But we went there. It was about 3 or 4 of us went on bikes. You could actually go into it. You could go up to the headstones. You could read. And some of them had little pictures on them too.
Okay.
Little pictures, and they were Asian people, Chinese people.
They closed off the Donkulator Bridge too.
Did they?
It's
Yeah.
not accessible.
Well.
So, but did you know that it wasn't only the Chinese graveyard? That apparently it was also the Guzman burial ground. So if you go, there was a bunch of headstones that had Guzman because that family was always buried there as well.
Right.
So it was the Guzman and the Chinese graveyard is what it was, and it's on the south side of town as well. So, but there's been even the Freeman Coliseum is reported to be haunted. The Menger, like we talked about.
Yes.
The Gunther, those Emily Morgan, those.
If I remember correctly, so the Gunther is the one that's right behind River Center.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now that bar is apparently supposed to be haunted.
Well, see, I was gonna say, so this is a history lesson. Way back, and actually, Roosevelt came.
The Rough Riders.
Yeah,
Yep.
he would come and he stayed at that
Yes.
hotel. Even he talked about stuff that happened.
Yeah, and they say that you can be at the bar and that you can, especially like the upstairs part of the bar, that you can look up and that it looks like there's people there.
Oh shit!
And then, but there's nobody there.
No.
Yeah, and that a lot of people, like when the bartenders are closing for the day, that they see things. They see things happening in there. They hear things, and so apparently it's pretty haunted in there too, man. So
the Menger, my sister actually just booked a room, the most haunted room at the Menger Hotel, to stay there.
On purpose?
Coming up. Yeah, on purpose.
It wasn't like, I'm sorry, man, this is the only room we have.
No, she's like, I want that room.
Wow.
She went online and booked that room. It was like $600 for.
What did she
single
say?
night.
Like
It's
stuff that's happened?
It's the suite though.
Yeah.
No, yeah. The thing is, she told me the brief story. I'm probably gonna screw it up, but some dude who would travel a lot used to love to stay at that hotel. A rich, wealthy guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'd go there, the room wasn't available, he'd get upset. So what he ended up doing was basically like permanently booking that room. He'd pay for it every night.
Really?
And then he loved it so much, he lived there, basically, and he ended up dying in the room, and the guy haunts it
And now he's haunted.
So my sister was like, I want to stay there.
Wow.
Oh, she'd be all up into this.
She's
segment.
into that.
Yeah.
Like,
was that Captain Richard King? I think it was. I think that's the story of that guy. I mean, there's another one about a lady, Sally White, too, chambermaid, who her husband shot her there because he thought she was being unfaithful. And people say they see her now wearing a uniform, an apron, holding towels in her hand, like they see her walking down the hallway, being basically what the attendants are at the hotel. So there's a lot of things that history.
I heard the Cadillac bar is haunted.
Yes, I've heard that too.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one.
It's closed now, dude.
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
That was a good place. That was a cool place. Yeah, it's closed.
Our high school didn't have enough reunions there.
Only the select people were chosen for those, Roger.
The select few. The select few. We weren't those.
I was not part of that chosen select few.
That was our 10-year one, man.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I'm glad y'all went.
We did.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but we did.
Oh God, what was I gonna say? Damn it, something popped into my head. The only other story I heard about the Menger was that people like to have sex with windows open. That's the only other story that I've heard from them. I've heard people have gone to stay there because I guess the way it's set up, there's some sort of thing in the middle.
Yes.
So there's rooms,
courtyard.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, courtyard. So there's courtyard, and then there's rooms obviously on the other side. People who were staying on the second floor or whatever looked over and these going at it. I'm like, wow, that's a haunting. But anyway, I digress.
Oh man.
Yeah. So ghost stories. So yeah, I want to hear. It would be cool to hear other people's.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of stories about
their own
that shit.
experiences,
and not just the tracks. I mean, it could be. We talked about the UFO thing. I know my sister said she brought. She saw something going to Pleasanton one time. Louie brought up, saying that his sister saw something in New Mexico. Like, I mean, I remember as kids, we would think everything was fun. We'd see a bird at night, and we'd be like, "Oh, lechusa!"
Everybody be running. Yeah, everybody go running
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was more of a story. I think my dad told me to make sure my ass was in by dark.
It wasn't when the lights turn on, you get in. No, it was like the lechusas out there. You want to get your butt back inside before you get attacked.
I was riding my bike home one night. I must have been like 7, and there was trees that pretty much covered the street.
Yeah.
Going down, so you're like riding under a canopy.
Right.
So I was riding my bike, and it was after dark, and I just heard like something rustling in the leaves above. Could have been a squirrel. Could have been
a haunted squirrel.
Something. It could have been anything.
Yeah.
But in my mind,
Yeah, was it?
So I didn't even stop to see if traffic was coming past the stop sign. I just took it. I got home, jumped off my bike, ran inside, and I was just screaming to him. I was like, "Did you say?" He was like, "No, you're okay."
But I told you.
It worked. It worked.
It's like, next time, get home before the sun.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hoping that we get other people that
Yeah,
listen,
share your stories.
like share their stories. Like we got there's an opportunity on when you go to Spotify, you can tell us your story, and then we can bring it up.
Yeah, hey, and we also have our Facebook, we have our TikTok, and we're also going to have our Instagram coming up here this week. So if you want to share any of your stories, you can put them on there as well. So follow us, Uncanceled Culture. Uncanceled.
What do I say? Cancer.
Uncanceled. It's not uncanceled. It's
say that.
Uncanceled Culture.
Uncanceled Culture. Yeah, we just started the TikTok this week.
Yeah, and we're starting the Instagram this week.
We already had the Facebook. We're trying to share that as much as possible. Did you see that one I posted? Anyway, about the Pokemon. Anyway, yeah. So
follow us,
share go there,
and share your stories.
Share your stories. Maybe we should post something on there so that way maybe people can share their stories.
Yeah. We want to hear from you.
They have ballsy enough to tell their stories like some of us are. I don't know. What do y'all think, man? What do y'all think about Bigfoot? Honestly.
Crank Chef. He
already
doesn't
know.
believe in UFOs or aliens. He's like, I'm not gonna believe in Bigfoot.
I just want to know if you tell the stories, like how many times you had to say the name before it came out.
Is it 5 times?
Is it 5 times?
I yelled Bigfoot 3 times.
I still don't understand why it's 5 times.
So Crankshot was saying that every horror story with if it was Candyman, Bloody Mary,
Bloody
all
Mary,
those, you had to say the thing 5 times. So like we were talking about the Chinese graveyard, the thing is you have to flash your lights 5 times. He's like, why is everything 5 times?
Why is it all 5 times?
On the 4th time, are they like, oh, they didn't get to the 5th one? Like why, right? So that's why he's a little like, I don't believe it. Like, that's BS for them to be saying, oh, it's got to be 5 times. So it can't be 3 or 4.
I gotta see Bigfoot 5 times before
it's real.
Something happens.
Oh man.
All right. So apparently we were told. Well, I found a correction for myself, and then Louie actually. Were you told these corrections, or
yes.
you figured it out after?
Yeah, the kid told me I was wrong.
Oh, because it had to do with the words.
Yes.
Right. Anyway, so again, Roger's here. Just want to say big ups to Roger coming up from upstate.
Central New York.
Central
New York.
In Central Park or outside of Central Park?
No, Syracuse, New York. The part of the state is Central New York. Yeah.
Where is Syracuse from New York?
From New York,
City.
It's about 5.5 hours northwest. It's closer to Canada.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, it's about an hour from Canada.
Is that why you drink all that Molson stuff?
So I stopped drinking that because the hangovers related with Molson were just not good. But it tastes good, but something about that beer just doesn't agree.
It's that
with me,
moose
so I
knuckle,
cut it out.
right?
It's
that
just
moose
a cheap
knuckle.
beer, man. Everywhere
Really?
you go up there, it's like $3 for like the big. That's why I drank it.
Yeah, it's
But
$3.
I had to give it up because it was just too much. The hangovers were not worth it.
Where's Ice House? Is Ice House from up there? Is Ice House
Ice
from
House,
Canada?
The ale, the beer.
Yeah, the beer. Do you know?
No, Ice House.
No, that's Rolling Rock.
No, yeah, Rolling Rock. No,
Ice House,
that's
Pennsylvania.
I don't know when I was thinking Ice House. You drink it. You Crankshot drink Ice House before, haven't you? Yeah. Do they still make it?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
I was thinking it was from Canada. I don't know why. I mean, I know Molson is.
That was budget beer.
Yeah, kind of like Natty.
Yeah.
and
They are
Busch.
big on Yingling up there. You know that.
it's brewed in Milwaukee.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
Milwaukee. Yeah. No, but Yingling, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's always been
on tap
a
everywhere up there. Yep.
it's always been a East Coast thing. Yeah.
Yep. They get their version. There's another Canadian beer called Labatt's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Labatt Blue.
yeah,
Yeah,
Labatt's.
we used to see those commercials all the time.
Uh-huh.
Labatt Blue.
I don't drink it. It's gross, man.
Yeah?
I'd rather have Bud Light if I'm gonna drink a.
Well, we figured that.
Yeah, and without skipping a beat, these
Oh, is
guys.
that a rainbow joke?
Yeah, apparently. I'm your ally, Roger. I really am,
It
man.
goes down smooth.
Oh man, without missing a beat.
It's the right spot.
So, yeah, we went into beer, but I was going to bring up some corrections, that we
corrections.
have. And actually, I want to start with mine because, I mean, how could I fuck that up? I couldn't believe how I could fuck that up.
Man,
So-
we were so sure, bro. We were so
no,
sure.
and I
we were-
thought it was too. I'm like, I'm so right. I'm so right. But one of my correction was we were talking about it was the facts thing. The facts
Yeah.
thing. Fun facts that Mickey Mouse's name was
Mortimer.
and I opened my big old fat head mouth and said, "Oh, the monster from Looney Tunes, the big red one with the sneakers. His name's Mortimer too." His name is not Mortimer.
Negative Ghost Rider.
That's a negative. The pattern is full. His name is Gossamer.
Gossamer.
Gossamer. Anyway, that's all I had.
So then I was told by the kids that when we were talking about slap last week, slap is not. So slap does mean good, but it's mainly used for like food, right? It's like, oh man, those pancakes slap. Oh man, that food slaps, right? It's basically what it meant. But when we were saying it, when we saw the video on TikTok
Yeah.
of the guy, telling his kid, let's
Oh,
go, and
slap.
he says, all right, slap.
Slap.
All right, dad, slap. He didn't mean it like, okay, good, like a good idea. SLAP was an acronym for sounds like a plan. So that's where that came. And honestly, when we were talking about it, I think it's basically the video was making more fun of the kids than of
The
the
adult not
crazy crap
understand.
that they freaking use
Yeah,
than
yeah.
really the adult. So it wasn't him actually using that. It was making fun of the kids, and they change everything either to an acronym or they just try to change the wording, right? So on that note, one of the other words that is commonly being used now is slay. So I don't know if y'all have heard that, slay.
Slay, yeah. As in one horse open?
What horse open slay?
No, okay.
Not that one.
Not that one.
It's
Okay. See?
SLAY.
I automatically went to that.
So what would you think slay means?
Well,
Slay the dragon.
Okay,
I think
Roger?
it's just another way people just say oh, he killed it. Or,
there it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Basically, he killed it. He murdered that. So the definition, when you look it up, it actually says, number one, kill, either a person or animal, right? Violent way. But number two says to greatly impress or amuse. So you slay.
It's chicks use it. It's like a fashion.
Slay queen.
Slay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that word, that's another kid. I don't know. What are we calling them now, man?
I don't know. Idiots? Can we say that?
Can we say that? Yeah. So
let me.
well, look. We'll do this last one, and then we'll talk about what we were talking about this week, right? And what we talked about also with Raj over there when we met up. So this other one it's a phrase, and it's let them cook. So let them cook, right? So when you hear that, what would you think? Let them cook. I know Porky. Well, who was it?
Yeah,
The Crankshot Porky?
mine automatically went to a war. And Roger verified it was for Saving Private Ryan because they used the blowtorches to blow him out in the bunker, and they said, "Don't shoot him, let him burn." But I was wrong.
Yeah, that's not what they're using it.
What does Crankshaft say?
Let him cook is let him like do his thing.
Let him do his thing.
Do his thing.
Like, let him loose.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. So
you guys are so hip.
I know, man.
You guys are so hip.
So Crankshaft, I know he mentioned it that it was a Russ thing. Remember?
Yeah.
He used that.
Oh, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell
You said.
Wilson. They
That's
was
what
like,
you
yeah,
said.
let him cook, right? So it's basically what it is. It's let him do his thing, but it's when we're trying to figure out, like, we're trying to see something happen. We want to see how it's gonna play out.
Okay.
So what we're saying is, man, let him cook. Like, let's see how this is gonna go, right? And a lot of times it's referred to when somebody is
About to
when they're
fuck up?
flirting.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
They're trying to hook up, right? So they're doing their thing, and we're like, well, let them cook, man. Let's see how this thing actually plays out. And I think to us, it'd be more like, let's see him fall on his face, right?
Yeah.
Let's see how this thing's really gonna
Let's
go.
see how bad he fucks
but yeah,
up.
that's really what it is. It's let him cook, let him do his thing. Let's see how it plays out, and then we go from there. So
You know, to kind of change it a little bit. Way back in the day, they used to say one. Then I mean, I guess I really wasn't hip. They used to say break bread. Did you ever use that?
what was it?
Break bread.
Yeah, break bread. Yeah.
When you go, like, if somebody invites you to eat or something, hey, come break bread with me.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea that's what it meant.
Really?
And I thought because I guess it was in a rap song or a Tupac or somebody used it in a song some way.
That was one of the things, the etymology things that you did last week or whatever about the origination of those phrases.
Yeah.
Oh, idioms.
The idioms. Yeah.
Idioms. Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently back in the day they wouldn't like slice bread; they would
Break
Break
it.
the bread. Yeah, because it wasn't. It was it was bread that they already had
Because
there.
it was a spicy meatball.
Yeah, man. So, we were talking about, and Porky referenced it right now. What do we call these phrases or
Idiot.
idiots, right? We were talking about, damn, man, are we gonna be in trouble, or not even we, right? I think Crankshaft said, he was like, dude, we're gonna be dead by the time they're running our country.
Yeah, that was a classic line.
But we talk about it like, man, this is literally our future, and how crazy it is. But I think even Raj mentioned it when we met up this past week, and he was like, yeah, but who's raising these kids? And it's us. We're raising these kids.
Don't blame them, man. It's all
Like-
our fault.
Now again, it goes back to episode 1, what I mentioned, where back in the day we had our parents and we had our coaches and our teachers to influence us. But these influencers that are on social media is what's influencing our kids. And so, yeah, when we say, well, we're the ones raising them, we are, but technically we're not.
No, we're not.
It's like the kid that we drop off and let somebody else raise, and then we get them back, and then, we claim them as our kid. I mean, that's basically what's going on here is we're letting social media now influence and raise our kids on how they speak and act and what they do nowadays. But it's true. These are still our kids. So we still have some skin in the game. That's another phrase that we'll talk about later, right? We still have some skin in the game because they're our kids. But we're raising them, man.
We should get the belt out so we can get some skin
That's
off their
exactly-
ass.
Damn.
There's a video
Right.
that I saw. I guess it was on Facebook, and it was teaching parents how to raise their kids. So it was like, don't ever say these things to your kids, and it's like, you don't have a reason. I don't know why you're crying. You don't have a reason to cry. And then it said, instead, maybe you should try saying, well, I understand how you feel. And it's like, nah, man.
Yeah.
It's always been, I will give you a reason to cry. If you
Yeah.
don't shut the hell up.
Exactly.
Like, I think kids need more of that shit that day.
You're
Like,
crying?
everything's
Why are you
child
crying?
abuse now.
Yeah.
Everything's child abuse now.
Yeah. I saw. Going back to TikTok. I saw. I guess it was a show that comes out, and the kid called the police, and so two police showed up, and the kid comes out and he's like, "Oh, I want to report child abuse. My mom hit me. Blah blah blah." And the one officer is talking to the mom, and the other officer takes the kid, and he's like, "Hey, tell me what happened." He's like, "Oh, well, my mom hit me." And she said, "Well, what did you do?" She's like, "Oh, I didn't." Blah blah blah. Basically, he didn't listen, so she spanked him. And he grabs the kid and he goes back to, and then he basically just kind of yells at him, and he's like, "Don't ever call us for this shit again."
Yeah.
Like, it's your mom. Like, you're supposed to be listening to your mom. Like, if she wants to hit you, she can hit you. Basically, as long as she don't kill you, I guess.
What's the
problem?
I heard one time. I heard this one lady say, "Call them, call CPS, call the police." Well, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna take you away from me, and I'm gonna have a break. So go ahead, because you're the one gonna get put in a home. You're the one that's gonna get put in. Go ahead. And I was like, dude, that is so good because, you want to see how life is on the other side? Go ahead, call them.
Yeah,
That's nice.
I think that was
that's
a good
parenting, right
Yep.
there.
That's good parenting.
That would be me as a parent for sure.
Yeah.
Luckily, I am not.
Oh,
Let's talk about Roger's future.
No kids.
Well, he ain't got to worry about child support. He ain't got to worry. Not that he had to pay it, but I'm saying he ain't got to worry about any of that shit.
Clean slate.
Cleans, but a dirty sock. No.
Dirty sock.
dirty sock.
Clean slate, but dirty sock. Lots of love.
Yeah.
Oh.
A nice yellow crusty sock.
Definitely.
Now that brings
It's
back.
a towel.
He upgraded. He upgraded. Crankshaft, hide your towels, man.
Yeah. He's with it every time we show up. He's like, "Fuck."
So Roger, how long have you been gone from San Antonio?
It'll be 2 years in August.
Dang,
Really?
2 years.
2 years in August.
Yeah, man. Because that's like I didn't know. I had no idea. Like, and I would hear them mention things like that, and I'm like, "Roger's not here. I didn't even know you weren't here." You're like, "Oh yeah, he's in New
Gone
York."
by really quick, man. I've been up there for 2 winters. Apparently, 2 of the mildest winters on their record. So
So when you
So
say,
you don't get the real cold up there so far.
So when you say, y'all don't know how it is, and they could tell you the same thing. Oh well, you haven't experienced the winter then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because when you tell people up north, hey man, you don't know what heat is, you don't know what hot is. Come to Texas and stay over here in
So
June, July, August.
I've gotten a taste of it. So basically, instead of getting like 40 inches of snow that year, we only got like 30 or something, you know what I mean? Or 24. But there'll be days where you wake up in the morning, it's like a foot of snow on your car because it's snowing for like 10 hours straight. But I love the cold. I just hate dealing with having to scrape all that snow off your car.
I already know if I ever lived in the Northeast, I mean, I'd probably die.
Oh, and
it's
then
too cold, man.
The drivers, man, like so. It's not like New York City where like you're walking down the street and everybody's like, "Get the fuck out of my way!" Like everybody's in a rush.
Right.
Everybody's rude. Stereotypical New York. So everybody's pretty chill and laid back in Syracuse, but when they're in their cars, that's when they turn into those
The road rage?
Yeah, the road rage is for real, man. Like they will stop, roll their windows down, cuss at you, yell at you, like for anything, dude.
Wow.
Anything.
You got a dash cam?
No.
You need to get one.
Probably should get one.
The biggest thing is like 4-way stop signs. So like if 2 people
Get there at the same time. Yeah.
Like I'll let them go, right? I always let the other car go first. Right. So when they start inching forward, I take my foot off the brake to sort of like get the timing right, so they'll pass and they will stop
because you're already moving
in front of me.
Just
and,
because you move
they will start like doing the gestures, like "Hey, I'm walking here," kind of thing. It's like, just go, man. Just go.
Over here.
Just go. Like it's so annoying up there, dude. Even like women, dude. In the car, they will turn into like sailors, man, and like start throwing F-bombs like crazy.
Is that where Karen originated? Was it in the Northeast?
I would say no. I would say it originated in the Southeast, probably.
Yeah, you're right.
So we were talking about what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I think the nickname might have originated in New York City.
Really?
So
one of those viral videos.
I think it was.
So
I think
Karen,
it was New York.
Dime store Karen or something like that. That woman that accused some little boy of like grabbing her ass.
Yes, I remember that one. And they showed the video from the store. They
all gathered as a community to watch it.
Yeah, and they let her have it, man. Yep. The news showed up, and they even played the video for the news.
Karens,
yep.
Man. So you're back to the weather. We were talking about, because we were talking about off. How do we say it? Off recording or before we started recording.
Oh yeah.
So, and I always hear in the news and they talk about the Northeast or New York and they're going, "Oh, it's a heat wave. It's 98 degrees." I'm like, wait, 98 degrees? And you said, I mean, obviously you were sitting at a bar talking with people, and they start talking about the heat.
Talking about how hot it was.
And it was only...
It was like 91 degrees, man. It was 91 degrees, and it was nice. I just walked outside.
Yeah.
I was just taking a shower. I just finished working out. It was like a Saturday afternoon. I was like, all right, I'm going to go have a couple beers, get some cheesesteak or something.
Yeah.
So I went to this place. Some woman starts ranting about how hot it was and how I can't take it. It's like Florida hot. And the bartender, she's like, this guy's from Texas? What do you think, Roger? Is this hot? And I was like, no.
No, not 91
this
degrees.
Is not hot. And then I went on to talk about how like 91 after 30 straight days of 105 is nice and refreshing and cool. It's like that's our November.
You wake up and it's 91.
Yeah, already.
You know,
exactly.
It's not like he said he woke up at 58. You know,
yeah.
No, we wake up it's 91 already.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have a little cool front coming in this week because we're gonna have some rain, so it's gonna be in the 70s in the morning, but it's gonna be back at 103, 105 for the rest of the week. So.
Well, I mean, it's barely June.
Yeah,
we still have all
man,
of
we still got July and August.
And August to go through.
Man. Jeez.
September is kind of like well, you know, September, but then September turns into hurricane season.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
So
that's August, September.
We
I
might
mean,
get
they're
a lot
already
of
forming
rain.
now.
Yeah, we might get a lot of rain back then.
It was 82 here when I woke up to come to the airport
82.
in Syracuse. It was 58 there. It was 82 here at 2:30 in the morning. Yeah. It was a big slap in the face.
But it's like I guess for somebody like me, like I said, I didn't know I wouldn't. I mean, I like this. I mean, snow's cool. You know, everybody likes the cool weather, and everybody wants it to snow. Like you see how we act here, we close the fucking city completely closes down when it snows. So like, I mean, I wouldn't be able to cut it up there. Dude.
You would, dude. Life goes on, man. They got plows. They got salt trucks.
But see, why would I have to do extra work, man? I'll just deal with the
I'm
heat.
seeing the roads. Like everything's still open. Like it's.
Oh.
Because like my mom being mom, like, hey mom, we got like 10 inches of snow last night. She's like, just stay home, you hold on. And I'm like, nah, like
Why?
the roads are clear.
Because that's what they would do here, right?
Yeah.
They would shut down the whole city for that.
Be like, we'll see you after everything melts.
2 years, was it 2 years though? When
20 what?
yeah,
Snowvid.
Snowvid.
Snowmageddon. Yep.
And it was funny because we were planned a trip to South Padre, and it was a week after that, so it was still kind of cold, not cold, but it was cool. I mean, it was 60s, 70s, and we go down to South Padre, and the water was so cold. Man.
Yeah.
It was so cold. I'm like, but the sun wasn't out.
Yeah.
It was cloudy. Like it was a horrible time to be out because we went because we thought it was gonna be perfect. Nah, not after a week of closing down the city. So yeah, so what are your biggest takes from New York, dude? Besides how nice the people are.
Nice. So they are nice, just not when they're driving.
Yeah. Any other time they're cool.
So I mean, obviously, barbecue sucks up there. It's funny to see people argue about who has the best barbecue.
In New York?
It's
Unless they're
funny.
from Buffalo. And the wings?
So the wings and pizza are fucking phenomenal, dude.
Wow.
Like perfect. Like every little dive bar has great wings and pizza. It's fucking awesome, dude.
No tacos though.
So there's like one place that I found that they could fit. Like you could transplant that restaurant, put it here, and it'd fit right in.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like any other spot. So like when I'm talking to locals, oh, you're from Texas, and they'll ask me like, oh, what do you think about this place? I was like, this is the one spot you got to go to.
Yeah.
So a couple of people are like, dude, you were right. That was great.
Real Mexican food. Like Mexican food? Is that what you're talking?
The dude who opened it is from Guadalajara.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So like he went up there, started doing his thing, and I mean, it's not it's not great, but it'll fit.
Well,
right
yeah,
in.
you get that taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
They got good chips and salsa. Like up there, some places would charge you for the chips and salsa.
no way.
Yeah, it's not complimentary.
You just broke. I heard a story about them using just tomato sauce as a fucking chips and salsa. I was like, tomato sauce? They didn't put nothing in it? Like, no, that's all it was.
Well, that's how paste became a thing, man. It was over there in New York City.
Yep.
I went to this one place up there, dude, and ordered the red enchiladas, and got basically a can of tomato sauce. Like, I was like, this what? Like no salt, no pepper, like nothing. Just seriously, it was straight up tomato sauce. I was like, this is a joke. This is a joke.
So, pizza,
wings, Italian food, and that's really all I care about up there. Everything else is like whatever.
So, do they yell at you if you don't fold your pizza when you eat it?
Dude, it's not a thing that you just do it, man, because it just happens.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy. Really the only way you can eat it, because if you pick it up,
so their pizzas,
it just falls down. So
it's not like it's like not like a Little Caesars or something where it's a little bit thicker.
Yeah,
so
no,
their pizza's thin.
Pizza Hut, Domino's, whatever, you can pick it up by the crust and you pick it up and bite
you eat it.
But
yeah.
there, if you try to do that, the whole thing is just like flop. So
It's
you have to fold it to give it some like support.
It's like a limp dick after a long night of drinking. It just kind of hangs there.
Bit so you can put it in your mouth properly.
You gotta play with the balls a little bit, make it get up. Yeah.
So it can kind of get a little stiff, and you put it in your mouth, take a big juicy bite. But yeah, pizza and wings up there are like absolutely.
I told you we were gonna get the woman's perspective. I told you. Thank you, Roger.
I'm trying to help you, Roger. I'm sorry, man.
I'm good. I'm good.
But it's good to have you here, man.
Definitely.
I know, like,
Yeah, it's awesome to be home, man.
How long you gonna be
really
here?
Good. I leave Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
So another week?
Yeah, pretty much
basically.
the rest of the week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he can be here. We don't know what schedule is, but
Possibly Saturday.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to be back around too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We can have you here for the whole time and not just half of it.
Yeah.
And then you could hear all our stories.
I can get a game plan, do some research.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll mention some of the topics that we're thinking about, and
Yeah, we'll come up with something. I don't know what we're doing. We never know what we're doing. But yeah, man. So anything else? Anything else to close out? What do we have? We did our corrections. I'm sorry. And the thing is, nobody said anything about it, so I don't feel that bad about it.
Yeah, well, except for the kids coming up to me. Other than that, yeah.
And why are they listening?
Yeah. Well, no,
we
somebody mentioned it, and they're like, "Oh, Slab," like, "Oh yeah, you used that," and then, "How did you use it?" And we told them, they're like, "No." I was like, "All right, well, that was wrong, I guess." So,
never mind.
Yeah.
No, you suck.
Yeah.
Does suck stand for something?
I bet you it will.
They'll make it. They'll find a way to make
It'll
suck
be an
stand
acronym
for something.
Yeah. Eventually.
See you, cunt knocker. I don't know.
I was thinking the exact same acronym, except for the K.
Cunt.
We got the first three letters.
Cunt kicker.
Cunt kicker.
Cunt knuckle.
That Orbit commercial. What was it? You land.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
That is classic.
Oh.
Who you calling a cootie queen? You lint liquor. I got Roger. I got him.
What was it for?
It was an Orbit.
Oh, the Orbits.
Yeah.
That's right. Orbits. That's
It was
right.
like potty mouth. Freshen it up, and it's you. What is it? Oh god.
That was good. Yes.
What the French toast?
French toast.
Oh
man.
Oh wait, we better get out of here, man.
Yeah.
We better close it out. So Roger, it's good seeing you, man. Good having you here.
Always good to see you guys.
Yeah, hopefully next week, you guys, if you we'll see what schedule is. We don't know where we're at now, but yeah, hopefully you can make it.
Captain.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe we'll get you a microphone for yourself. Since
two cranks over
so
here.
Louie said, he was gonna get one.
Yeah. I got a guy that knows a guy.
Got a guy that knows a
You got
guy.
a mic guy?
I got a mic guy that knows another mic guy, and so we're supposed to be getting one. So
Yeah. No, we're good, man. We're good. So yeah, that's it, man. It was good talking to you guys. And
share your stories. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok,
put it
and
on
Instagram.
Spotify. Listen on Spotify.
Spotify.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
See you.
Later.